everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Cindy Harrison. I am the host of Paint with Heart. Today we are going to rock your garden. But before we get started, I'd love to introduce you to my bestie, Ms. Melissa Reyes.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Melissa Reyes, Ms. Meliz on social media, and you can find me at msmeliz.com. And I am really excited to be here, Cindy. Thank you so much for having me. I love playing with rocks. And today we're going to be painting these and going to rock our garden. And I kind of like the idea of changing one thing to another thing, especially because today's word is reinvent. And I have my new cards and then my deck of cards. This is from Daily Affirmations. This word reinvent is one of my words. And it says, start anew, take a chance to create something remarkable. So show me how to create something remarkable with these rocks, Cindy.
Awesome. Thank you. That's a lovely word for today's
Paint with
Heart project, because we're taking these plain little rocks and we're turning them into beautiful works of art that we can place in our garden. You can also use them in a potted plant in your house just to beautify that dirt area. So let's get started. We're going to do this one first. This has got the most detail in it. And so I'm going to show that, and then I will go over the other ones later. First off, I did put a line drawing on the website. However, I don't really think you need one. I think we're going to be able to freehand this without any problem. Pick a rock that is kind of oval in shape. I also had bought specific rocks that were already white. If your rocks are not white, you'll want to cover them with gesso. So we're going to take our oval rock, and it wouldn't matter if you were working on a box or any, a plaque or any other kind of surface you're working on. This scene will be beautiful on whatever you do it on. But I'm going to, again, separate my sections in thirds and put a line across that. So if you're not working on a white rock, remember you need to use some gesso to make it a solid white, so you'll have a nice painting, a nice base for your painting. So I'm going to then take out a puddle of baby blue, sapphire. I'll even take out some primary blue and a puddle of dioxazine purple. So go ahead and put out a small puddle of each of those colors on your palette. The other thing you'll need to add to that is a puddle of glazing medium if you have some. So now that we have those puddles out, take your, I'm going to use a number 14 brush. If you have a 12, that'll be fine. Of course, if your rock is bigger and you want to use the 3/4 inch wash brush, you should go ahead and do that too. And I'm going to paint it with some of the light value, which is the baby blue. If you don't have a baby blue, you can pick one of the other colors and put white in it, a light blue value, medium blue value, and mix some white in it. And it might take a little bit more paint than you're used to because rocks are porous. I'm going to put out a puddle of white and then have some glazing medium and a fresh piece of paper towel. Now, it gets a little tricky when if you're working with humidity, because it can either dry your paints out quickly or keep your paints moist longer. Either way, if you have a fan going, AC going, it probably will dry your paints out more quickly. I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to dip it into the glazing medium, and I can put a coat on my rock first. Don't rub too hard, you'll rub the paint off. I'm going to pick up some white, a little bit of white, and I'm going to rub that into the blue, in the center of the blue. Then I'll wipe that off, again, a little bit more glazing medium, pick up some sapphire blue, mix it with the glazing medium, and then I'm going to start bringing that color in from the sides, from the top and from the sides.
What does the container for the glazing medium look like? Okay.
And I'm still on that dirty part of the paper towel, and I'm just going to go right down the scale of colors. Now I'm into the primary blue. And this one I'm going to dab on first, because if you keep rubbing too hard, it's going to wipe all the paint off. So I'm going to dab this on light as it gets into the center. Okay. Now pick up a little bit more of that glazing medium if you want. You can tap it over, kind of try and leave some open time here. And I'm going to pick up some of the Dioxazine purple, and I'm going to tap that in the very outside edges.
She did it again, Kathy. She took my glazing medium. Can't find it.
Oh, do you need me to send you some?
Yeah, could you hand that over? Thank you. Well, that didn't work.
Okay, so if that didn't work, then use some water and dilute the paint.
I thought I had it. That's all you're doing is just diluting paint and just splashing it on there?
Yeah,
I can do that.
The difference between using water and glazing medium is that you still get that pigment.
Mm-hmm.
Water will make it thinner, but it will also create a lighter, like a wash. It's a wash. With a glazing medium, you still get that vibrant color, but it makes the paint leave a softer glow look. Now we have this horizon line across there, and we want a row of bushes. So take out your little deerfoot brush. So we're going to take out our deerfoot brush, and we're going to pick up, first off, let's pick up some of the primary blue, and we're going to start to pounce in an uneven manner this color all along that horizon line. Pick up a little bit of the Dioxazine purple, tuck some of that in there. If you're working on a box or a flat surface and you want to put a piece of tape across there to keep your line straight, by all means, you can do that. Blow dry that. You know how I love my blow dry. It's like, doesn't that look like the midnight sky, like glowing? I just think it's awesome. Okay. Now you're noticing that this is awfully dark compared to this, but it's okay because it won't look like that for long. I'm going to take out some blue-green, and a trick to getting these covers off, if you don't know, when they're on tight like that, if you twist them clockwise, they'll come off sometimes. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of the white and my flat brush. And I'm going to put that color in my water and try to get that line straight across your horizon. The inspiration from this was is it Princess and the Frog?
Princess and the Frog, I think.
Yeah, in the swamp.
It should be a really, really pretty picture of a princess and the frog. I don't remember exactly what evolution it was.
But that's what the inspiration here was. So I think that blue-green makes a really beautiful color.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not tropical necessarily. It's just, I don't know, swampy color. So now I'm going to go straight to the blue-green, right? That's what we said. Yeah. Go straight into that puddle of blue-green without any white in it. And I'm going to start kind of on a diagonal, chopping some color in. I'm going to be straight flat at the bottom, but kind of chopping that color in. Go along the top and bring it back this way, but keep some lighter areas in the middle. So on the chisel, I chopped it through the middle. But around the edges, I was flat on all hairs. If you missed any areas on your horizon line and you're seeing white, go back in with that deep color, whether it be dioxazine purple or the primary blue or a combination of the two, and just go ahead and tuck some of that color back in there. Okay. Now I'm going to keep darkening around the outside. This time I'm going to pick up some Sapphire on the corner of my brush, tap it out a little bit, and then I'm going to bring it around the edge and then chisel that over. Tap it on the edge, bring it around the edge, and then chisel it in. Just kind of makes it a little darker. If the blue-green isn't deep enough for you, you can go and add some more of that on top of the Sapphire. Kind of a see-through color, I think. But I want to keep that glow of the water in the middle. So blow dry that. Because this is very bright and dark color compared to the light colors I put in the sky and on the water, we need to tone this down now. So what I'm going to do to help me tone that down is take my brush with just some straight white, and if your white's tainted with color like mine is, you'll need a new puddle. And either have a lot of water in your brush, or you can pick up some of the glazing medium and wipe the excess off on your paper towel. And now I'm going to start to go over this area with the white. And I'm going to kind of give it a foggy effect. And I can chop some of this white in this water area right in the middle. And if it's too much, take your paper towel, and while it's still not dry, or while it's still moist, you can add a little bit to just tone that down. You want to see it, but you just don't want it as bright as it was, as dark as it was. So it's kind of in a fog, right? If you want to put some water lines on the side, you don't want them showing up terribly bright. Take the baby blue and you can add those over here, and you'll still have lines. They just won't be as bright as the white ones, and it's okay. You don't want them as bright as the white ones, because then it will detract your eye. Okay. So far, so good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okie dokie.
So far, so good.
Are you ready for the lily pads?
Can you see mine?
Oh, hold on. Let me spotlight you.
Oh, I'm so dark today.
Oh, pretty.
My colors look a lot darker than yours, though.
That's okay. Add some more lighter value in the middle, I think. Or
It's
maybe.
like, to me, it's white.
Oh,
It's just
I
the
see.
color.
I see white clouds.
Yeah, that's white. This is white.
Okay, well, leave it alone then. You are ready. You are ready for doing the lily pads. The lily pads, I'm going to put out foliage and olive are very similar, so you can choose whichever you want. But I'm going to put out. I guess I'll do the olive and the plantation pine today. And I'm going to pick out my round brush. This is where you get creative if you don't want to go by the line drawing, and you're going to add little oval shapes of olive green, not plantation pine. A little oval over here, and then I did a little bigger oval here, because when you're looking at them from a side angle, they kind of are more oval than they are round. This one's overlapping. You can make them as big as small. You can make them, more or less, whatever you want to do. And then I did a little one back here. I did overlapping ones here. They get smaller as they go further away. And then I did a real big one up front. And see how it's taking me many strokes to put this on? Is probably why I used a bigger brush. It's not like working so hard. And they aren't necessarily smooth ovals either. They can be a little wavy. Kind of get it fairly good coverage so that you don't see the background through it too much. And I'm going to blow dry that quickly.
Can you look and see if I'm doing these big enough or?
I will. Hold on. Yeah, cool. The one in front can be longer. It's more elongated than it is round.
It's too round, so make it longer.
Yeah.
More oval. Okay. So size then okay? You need to make any more?
They do. They look fine. No. It's just the big one in the middle. It's on the same plane as the two to the left of it. So it probably should have been a little lower so it was closer, but it's okay if you just extend the right side of it a little longer. We're going to paint all the lily pads with the olive green and dry that. And now I'm going to take the blue green and go, when we made the triangles, I'm going to take the blue green and I'm going to wiggle, and this time I can wiggle that blue green color between olive green. Always have that center in mind, the center of the lily pad. And there's the triangles always go towards that. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of olive green and some white. And I'm going to wiggle that in, if it shows up, wiggle that in the center of the olive green area. And it doesn't need to start all the way at the top or come all the way to the bottom. Just a little touch of that color. In some of the centers. They can be chopped in lines, they can be a wiggle. Some of the back ones you won't even see. So don't put a lot of effort into it, but while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to take this I cut out of with a die cut. I have a die cut from Stamping Up that has a bunch of different sized dragonflies and a bumblebee on it. And so I cut this out of watercolor paper, and I'm going to paint the wings with white paint, and the body is going to be a different color. But I just figured while I have the white out, I can go ahead and paint those wings. And I do it over the paper towel for two reasons. One, it'll pick up the paint, and two, it will stop the paper from moving across my desk. So now that can dry. Okay, the next step on here is to take your liner brush and some of that plantation pine, and you're going to bring kind of a wavy line along the front of your lily pads. So start at the 9 o'clock, and you're going to wave it, and you're going to end it at the 3 o'clock. Unless the ones are behind, like the one here and the one here are behind, so you're not obviously going to carry that around there because you can't see the edge. Because we cannot see the edge, we are going to take our flat brush and do a little soft shading with that tiny side load of plantation pine, just to kind of separate them. If you can see that. I separated those. I'll separate these over here. And then what I'm going to do on this big one in front is put that plantation pine as a side load across the top. You can dirty these down. Kind of gives it dimension. How are we doing, Melissa?
Awesome. Totally got this.
Oh, cool. Look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to go on to the flowers. So the flowers are, take out some Carousel pink and a cranberry wine. I'm going to put a puddle of those out and a fresh puddle of white. So now we're going to start making our flowers. If it helps you to take your pencil first and kind of make the scoops, if you don't have the line drawing, scoop some lines into that area. If I use the white one, you can see it better. Scoop some. The back ones, it's nice because they're only like 3 strokes and you're done, but see that? So I started by scooping a line in here and out here and then filling in the rest.
I just have to tell you, my dragonfly just went flying when I put my blow dryer on. It just went.
Yeah. Yeah, it will do that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so next I'm going to take my #1 liner and some Carousel pink loaded on my brush. Turn it upside down. Start in the middle flat and release off. Start in the middle flat and then release off. You want to bring it into a peak, like you're trying to do a comma stroke, but not really. And they go straight up when you get to the center. So, see that? upside down. These little ones take less. And you don't have to worry so much about the peaks on those, because they're so tiny. You might want to go to a smaller brush even. The back ones can be pretty much a dot and they'll be fine. You want to start them relatively into that thing too. You don't want to be on top. You don't want to be up on top of it. You want to be in it, in the center of that oval that you created. While those are drying, you can go back to your dragonfly now and paint his or her body with that carousel pink. Paint that on there. Put that aside to dry. So next I'm going to do is take a little bit of the carousel pink and pick up a tinge of white and make a lighter pink value. And I'm going to start separating these by adding some pink from the top down in the parts that are going to show up. So not all of these are going to be in front. If you want to go back with the straight white and add a stroke on the top of each of these, you can do that as well. I would do less as I get further out though. You don't want the attention to those. Now I'm going to pick up some of the cranberry wine. And I'm going to start at the bottom and go to the underside of each petal, separating it from the other one. See? And do the same for the other ones. The back ones probably only need it on the bottom. And if you have a petal, you had a petal that was in the front here and you wanted to bring that down. There we go. So what I want to do now is take some moon yellow and add a very tiny, tiny itty bitty center of moon yellow right here. And that also helps to separate the ones that are in the front from the ones that are in the back. And if you want to add a little one in the center of that. But again, as it gets further out, you don't see them. So there you have that. Now we need to work on our dragonfly. There's separations on our dragonfly And if I take a pencil.
Wait, what? You're not going to put any shading underneath each petal?
I did them on the petal.
Oh, okay.
I did.
I'm just kidding. God. They're exquisite and so detailed.
I know, but I mean, if you
want to see mine?
The other thing I didn't do yet, which I can do, is take a lot of water in your round brush and you start making these little curves things around them, like as if they made ripples in the water. So you can do these little, and you can even do one on the things themselves. So you can get crazy like that if you'd like. I'm going to move on to my dragonfly. And commercial break, thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, think about joining us someday because I think it's a lot of fun being in the classroom. And if you want more information about it, you can go to cindyharrisonart.com under Paint with Heart, and you can find out when our next shows are. You can watch almost 50 of the replays of our previous episodes there, and you can also become a patron and get access to exclusive classes just for the patrons. And our first one will be coming up soon. And let's see, what else do I need to mention?
Tickets for prizes.
Tickets
and pattern packets or packages, monthly packages.
There are monthly boxes of stuff. And there's, yes, you get rewards for being here. You get rewards for painting with us, being prepared to paint with us, sharing our event, posting your finished products, even if you didn't do it with us online. If you did it later on, please post your pictures and you get points for that, so that at the end of each 4 weeks, every 4 weeks, we give a prize out. Okay, you ready for the next step?
Yeah, do you want to see mine?
Oh,
it doesn't look as scared as yours, but since I'm painting with you today, I want to make sure you see.
I do want to see. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah. It always looks better on screen than when you're looking at it, so I kind of wanted to see how it looks.
That is so pretty. It's like you're angling down more from the top because you're seeing more of the inside. So it's kind of neat because your rock is rolling that way, so it all ties in perfectly.
Well, I'm happy with it. Look at that. The sky looks like sky now, and I'm holding it up this way. And
it does.
Yeah, it does look like a little bank of a little pond. And
it's cool.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna
I won't throw it at your window, I promise.
Thank you. Because some of the white gets a little bright here, you can go back with your blue-green very thin, and you can kind of just wash over that to tone that down.
Okay.
Because I think on mine, it got a little bright, so I just tone it down with a, it's still there, but it's not as obvious. But and now we're going to pick up on the corner of the flat brush, if you can, some of the cranberry wine, work it out on your palette, back and forth, back and forth. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to touch that color on its nose, under the head, under the first section of the body, under the next section of the body. I got some on his wing, but that's okay. And every time there's a little bit of a ridge, you're going to go ahead and add some of that color. I'll show you up close. That's how detailed this die cut is. It's amazing. And I saw a trick with the die cut. If you don't have a big machine, the Sidekick, Big Shot, Sizzix Big Shot, or one of those die cut machines, you can take a rolling pin and you can roll over this die cut and cut paper. Obviously,
Wow.
you want to be on like a cutting board of sorts. You don't want to be doing it on a surface that you could damage. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next thing I'm going to do is take that round brush and some watered down white, not too watery, but thin. And I'm going to just gently touch down. For me, if I'm looking at them straight on, it's the left side. So I tap some color here. I'll tap some here, 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 and here.
Oh my goodness, wait, what? Do that again, I'm just kidding. It's a little, which brush did you use for that? Round brush?
I use my round brush loaded with watered down white paint. And I just touched it in all of those areas, tapped it, do.
Just plain white?
Plain watered down white. If you want the tail to be a little brighter, just add a little bit more white. Easy peasy. So now, for the bling.
Oh, blingy.
I have some Glamour Dust ice crystals, but they're very fine and I don't find them to leave enough glitter for me. Not that I'm a glitter queen, but
I'm a glitter queen. What glitter can I use? What glitter can I use?
You can use, did I give you some loose glitter? Because that's what we add to it.
Are we gonna add? So I can get my Glamour Dust and my loose glitter?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Because yeah, I find that this is too fine and it doesn't really give me as much pop as I would like to have. So I am going to do this, but add this on top. So put a little bit of that out. And you have to do it, you have to have this container open, and while it's wet, do this. And this is where I get in trouble because everything gets glittered on it. Okay. So I'm
every color.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
So excited. I've been waiting a year for this glitter. And it's only gonna go on this tiny little thing, but it's exciting. All right.
So I'm going to take an old brush that I don't mind getting glitter on it, and I'm going to paint over the wings.
Is that paint with white?
No, I'm painting with the Glamour Dust.
Oh, my Glamour Dust is loose.
Okay, so paint.
I gotta get the gluey kind. I've got the gluey kind too.
It's a paint, the glitter paint, and then
Okay.
I add the loose glitter over top of it. And I'm actually using crystal glitter, but you can use Glamour Dust, the loose kind as well. Just happened to pull out my crystal glitter instead. So I'm going to paint the other side now. Try not to get any of this Glamour Dust paint on the body.
Okay.
Doing this.
I've got the liquid Glamour Dust now. This is the Glamour Dust paint.
Right.
Silver. This one's silver bling.
Yeah, and I didn't grab the loose stuff, so I just have the Glamour Dust paint.
Okay.
But that's even finer than this. What I'm using is crystals and not the sugar. There's still glitter, but it's called crystal glitter.
Put this on the wings.
It's bigger.
So you're using the Glamour Dust paint kind of just to start as a base, but then you're putting glitter on top of that and it's going to stick to the paint.
Yes.
Instead of using glue.
Right.
Alrighty. I've got my old brush.
Yeah.
And of course, little pieces of
and then knock some off. Make sure you knock it off. Whatever you don't. Typically, I would do it over a piece of flat paper so I could put it back in the box, but I don't.
Oh yeah, and I've got my my glitter funnel thing.
Right, but I didn't do that this time. It's okay.
That's with my beads.
So.
Oh,
if
yes.
you're gonna actually put these outside, you might want to varnish both sides of this watercolor paper, and you want to definitely coat the whole entire rock with a varnish. But at any rate, so see how cool that's gonna look?
Mm-hmm.
And when this dries, what you can do is manipulate the wings so that you can get the wings to stand up like that. But I would wait till it dries before you do that. And then I glue it on with some tacky glue.
There you go.
Oops, hold on.
It's glittery. It's glittering.
Oh, look at him. That's beautiful.
Can you see the glitter? Yeah.
Yeah. It's very beautiful. It's definitely a different look than my crystal glitter. It's more fine, and I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's gonna look really good on here.
Show me. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Fun project, Cindy. Thank you.
Fun.
This is fun.
So for an easy peasy one, and if you have young children, grandchildren, or whatever, and you want to do a really easy one, I had the ladybug and the bumblebee, and I made little wings out of I don't know what this is, some kind of a plastic thing, and I made these little wings, and then I just paint on the wings, and that'll be easier. But this guy here, again, decide where you want to put the face, and you can just paint. Mine, again, is a white rock, so I don't need to do any kind of white background base coating because it's already white to begin with. And I'm going to paint right across.
Are we going to do a bee too, or just the ladybug?
Well, depending on which one you want to do. If you want to do the bee or the ladybug, pretty much I start the same way. The head is black.
Okay. So
you choose which one you want to do.
I didn't put out the red paint. I have.
Well, then do the yellow.
Okay. Putting out black.
I'm a ladybug person, so I tend to gravitate toward ladybugs. I'm going to put out country red. And paint this rest of this country red. I can paint half red and half yellow stripes. That would be weird.
Yes. I'll do the bumblebee. You do the ladybug. I think that was the plan.
Okay. You don't like ladybugs.
I love ladybugs. I love all the traditional glow bugs, the cute ones. I hate yeah. You know, ladybugs, bumblebees, butterflies, dragonflies, grasshoppers, praying mantises, crickets. Well, the cuter crickets like Jiminy Cricket.
It actually looks more like a grasshopper.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so we got like a nose like this.
A nose like that, yep.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go grab, oh, I've got the yellow.
You're gonna do yellow. I'm doing red.
I'm gonna have to grab another brush because now my brush is.
Wash it up in water.
Yeah, that's actually okay. My water. Yeah, it's good. Was that cad yellow or moon yellow?
Mine's moon yellow, but you can use cad yellow. It just you need something with white underneath it, or try it because your rock is white. So
Should I do it white first?
I did moon yellow on mine. I did do moon yellow on mine.
But you don't think I need to do white first?
Moon yellow has white in it, so it goes on.
You could do moon yellow and then put cad yellow over it if I decide to do that.
Yep.
And I don't have to put any lines on it. I just go all moon yellow and then I'm going to go black over it.
Right.
Okay. I'm ready.
You're happy?
I'm ready. I'm excited. This is fun. Just painting willy-nilly instead of like having to be all delicate. Like
You haven't painted with us in a long time, really.
I know. Well, the balloons, that was just a couple weeks ago.
Right. Okay. Now for me, doing a ladybug, I'm gonna section right down the center of my ladybug. Because that's where the two wings come up. For Melissa, who's doing the bumblebee, she has to look at her yellow section and do a black wiggle line with like probably a number 6 flat or something like that, a flat brush that's that width. And then she's going to wiggle a line between that, you know, so section off, cut that in half with a wiggle line, and then cut that in half and cut that one in half.
Okay. Okay. I could do that. I think I could do that.
I'm going to go ahead and add black spots. And you can either do it with a round brush or you could do it with a filbert brush. Let me fix the face here. And I don't know if they have even spots or odd spots. I never counted the spots on.
I think they're different from each other. They're not, I don't think all ladybugs are the same. And they aren't all ladies either.
Are their left sides the same as their right sides?
Oh, is that what you mean? I don't know.
And spot placement?
Spot placement? I don't think so. Can I tell you a thing about ladybugs though?
Yeah.
You know, you can order ladybugs in the mail, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know how. Okay. So at the kids' school, they do a senior prank. It's kind of tradition that every year the kids do a senior prank before graduation. It's become so sad. I think it's sad, but the administration actually allows them now to do a senior prank, but it has to be approved.
Oh.
So like, you know, it's not, I don't find that to be really a prank because
not if you're coming.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but anyway, and so, but they do that. That's something that they can do, some type of practical joke. So anyway, the seniors last year decided that they would release ladybugs, like 3,000 ladybugs at the school or whatever, so that the week of finals, when seniors are done, they don't have to take finals because their grades are already done, unless they're, you know, trying to make up grades or something. They did it, and so for the whole week of finals, they're just like ladybugs everywhere. And of course, the neighborhood is really happy because they eat the aphids and stuff, and it's good for the environment or whatever. But the students were really kind of annoyed because there were so many ladybugs everywhere they went. I thought it was kind of an interesting prank.
I don't mind them if they're outside, but I've been in a restaurant of all places that had ladybugs on the inside and they were clustered in the corners of the windows, and it's like, oh no. So, okay, I drew a
That
black,
would be bad.
I drew a black line down the center, and I'm going to take my flat brush and add a little bit of a shading behind the head of cranberry wine. And also down the center. And I mean, you might have to help your little one with that, or you just eliminate the shading part because, I mean, it's just for us, but you don't have to add the shading for them. And then with a Q-tip, let me find a good Q-tip. I'm going to take, it's a tiny Q-tip, take a Q-tip and some white paint. And I'm going to add eyes. Melissa can do the same thing. And also use that stylus, that dotty thing. And you can add antenna. Open this up. On the other side. Isn't that cute?
That is cute.
And you can do the same thing, and we're going to add a pupil.
I'm putting my black lines on right now, so you know what I'm doing.
Awesome. Put a black pupil. And then with the itty bitty liner brush, you can add a mouth. I don't like that.
Oh my gosh. It's adorable. I should be paying closer attention so I know what to do.
That's okay.
I'm painting my body.
You can do that. Good thing about black is you can go over it and fix your mistakes. If you don't like what you painted, black goes over everything.
Oh, right. You can go over with black. I was going to say, how do you fix your black? I see what you're saying.
You go over with more black.
Yeah.
You can add little eyelashes. Oops. See if I can get that. See, she's smiling at you.
Look how cute. Adorable.
And if you need to separate that pupil, you can add little highlights in the whites. Yay! So, to give her back a little highlight, you can take a dry brush, be it a firm, bristled, white-haired brush, and you can do white or you can do the yellow. You can mix the yellow with the red and make a orangey color. So it's not too off. Wipe the excess off on your paper towel. And I went back and forth, which is what Melissa's going to do with white down the center of the bumblebee. And it's a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle back and forth scrub.
Oh, I see. Look at that. So cute.
So I scrub that down. So it makes a little highlight. If you want to add one to the head, wipe your brush off, but don't get it wet. So if you want to do that, well, she's going to do all white. I'm not. I was started with the peachy color. So now I'm just going to try and go back to the white and see if I can add a little bit of that to the top of her head. Just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Cool. So I'm not going to go over the hydrangeas since we did do hydrangeas in January. So if anyone here watching the replay would like to learn how to paint hydrangeas, go to the first episode, and we called it True Colors. And it's painting hydrangeas around a color wheel. And that will show you how to do that. For this guy, I either, honestly, I don't know how I got this one, but I either die cut it or you can paper punch. You know, if you have a die cut or a paper punch, or even if you have a rubber stamp and you can just cut around the rubber stamp. But this is, let's see if I can do this. Sometimes I got to stand up to cut through the paper. So you can die cut that, or you can rubber stamp that, or you can cut it out with scissors. You can paper punch it, whatever it takes, and then paint it. This was solid, so I painted it all yellow. Then I put country red against the body. So let me show you here. I painted the wings, the moon yellow. You can go over it with cad yellow after if you want. The body was done in black. You can have antennas or not, whatever you choose, whatever your die cut or your paper punch has. I'm going to blow dry that. You may want to paint both sides. You may want to paint both sides if you start the wings to raise up. You might want to paint both sides for that. So then I'm going to take my flat brush, and I used a side load of the, I used a side load of the cranberry wine. So work that out so it's not a strong color. And I went right down the body on the inside of the wing. If you want to separate the wings, I would do underneath and separate that wing. And then after I did that, I went back with the black and I outlined the wings. Outline that wing. and put your little details in. As you need to. If you want to make little dots here, go with the black around the yellow, because it would be hard to do yellow dots on the black. So I kind of just close in the dots that way. You see how I did that? And then highlight with a little bit of white. You can kind of dry brush the sections of the butterfly. If you want to put some on the outside of his or her wings. When that's dry, you can either glitter that or just start to, I hold down the part where the body is and I start to bend it this way around my finger. And that lifts the wing up. And then we'll make it raise. So when you put it on your rock, it'll be raised up. The other thing you can do is put like triple thick or something over this, and you can glue a pin back to it. And it can be a pin. I had a friend who did a bazillion of these for a bridal shower or a wedding or something like that. Something crazy. Everybody went home with one. Make sure this is really thin when you do this, though. Melissa's, how are you doing? Where are you at?
I will show you. My wingless bumblebee.
So you ready for the wings? He's handsome.
And a little mouth he needs.
A mouth and do
And a buzzer.
The highlight down the center, and then you'll be ready for the wings, and I'll show you how to do the wings.
Okay, so he needs a highlight down the center. How do I do that? With white?
That's a white in the dry brush.
The dry brush, the bristly one, right?
The white bristle brush, yes.
Okay,
The white bristle brush.
So you just scrub it into the whole flat middle of the back?
Yeah, all the way down. Scrubble, 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 right down to the butt. I find that sometimes I'm better doing it from the left to the right or the right to the left, but I'm not good at both ways.
Okay. And then a mouth. Let's see, look at your mouth. It's just kind of a little. Did you draw that on with the stylus?
Liner brush.
Liner brush. And it's just the white paint.
Yeah.
God, that butterfly is beautiful.
One side's gonna have more lines than the other. Oh well. You ready for your wings yet?
Yeah. I'm adding brighter color of yellow.
Oh, okay.
So here, I'm ready.
Oh, look at you. Cool. Okay. So take your pencil and decide whether how you're going to do this. And you do like almost like a teardrop, because there's a peak over here. It's not quite, I do it on here. It's like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a teardrop, but it's not a circle. Do 2 of those.
And you have them sideways, or like going out.
Yep, sideways. And I take my 14 flat. And again, I know you're not going to like this, but it is pick up some white on the corner of your brush, tap it down on both sides, but I'm not really working it out on the palette, because white is one of those colors. It's very hard to make things really white. And then I do this on the B. I kind of have it at an angle, and I come into it, and then I go out of it. So I come into it like this, go, and then come around and go out.
Okay.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on an angle, flatten that out here. You can walk it out if you want. And then when you come back down, have the water end of your brush lead you back to that point in the middle. Chisel it up, chisel it down. And if you pre-wet, it'll maybe smooth itself out better.
I feel like I've got too much white on this guy.
Well, then you can show me.
In the back.
Show me.
Here he is.
Show me the top where the wings are.
I'm trying.
Yeah, so just go over it with some water.
I know. Right now I'm trying to get the back.
Oh.
See, there's too much white in here.
Oh, so you're
going back over.
with the yellow?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
Cool.
I'll go over that with water.
I think it's
like
so
you
cute.
said.
I think
He's adorable. I love him.
he's adorable. Look at him, smiling just like you. Lovely. So what do you say? Want to say goodbye, Gracie?
Well, that was fun, reinventing these rocks into these cute little garden characters, of bringing new life into what could be just a regular everyday thing. And that's what you do for me, Cindy, and your friendship. You bring in fun little exciting times to my boring everyday things. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you for letting me paint with you today. And thank you everybody for watching the replays. We'll see you soon.
Awesome. So yes, thank you, Melissa. And you do the same for me, as well as everybody here at Paint with Heart and the Paint with Heart family. It's very important to both of us and to each one of us that are in here. We are always asking about those that can't make it. And we hope that you're doing well and watch the replays. And please, if you get a chance to paint one of these beautiful repurposed rocks, recycled rocks, please post it on Facebook and you will earn points for the next drawing. So until next time, as always, remember to always paint with heart. See you again soon. Thank you, everyone.